Numbers. Culture Review. It's the Culture Review. Hello, how are you? It's the Sunday Review. Culture's Review. It's Sunday for you and me. And you. And me. And you.
Greetings, everybody. The Sunday Culture Review. Tom, you are a genius. A mad genius, but a genius.
Considering I'm sick as a dog.
Are you? What did you get sick with?
I don't know. I ate something yesterday and I have not felt good since.
Oh man. Yeah, hopefully you weren't eating.
Even got woke up a few times.
Hopefully you weren't, hopefully you weren't eating, shorts.
No, I was not eating shorts, but you can eat my shorts.
No. Speaking of which, Tom's shorts are sweeping the nation, everybody. Check them out.
Not really.
Okay, well, they're sweeping my nation. But anyway. Speaking of which, we are here to talk about, the last week that was completely bonkers, and the week ahead of us it's going to be completely bonkers.
Nothing happened this week.
What do you mean?
Not that I know. Yeah.
Nah, nothing of huge note in the entertainment industry happened this week.
It was kind of quiet, to be honest.
Very quiet.
Very boring.
I think there's been a massive change in direction for the entertainment industry, but maybe I'm wrong.
Never.
All right. Well, speaking of massive change in direction for the entertainment industry, we have with us a very special person who achieved monetization, is going to be doing a special monetization and 2-year anniversary stream on August 20th. It's our friend
21st.
The 21st, excuse me. Makini draws. Makini, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. And yes, the monetization celebration will be on August 21st. That'll be the season finale. That'll be the 2-year anniversary of Makini Live. Very happy, and I can't thank you guys enough for the support. But I got a very special show today, in fact.
Ooh.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and it was just finding the right moment to do it. And I know from my most dedicated followers, people who have been supporting me since day one, this is going to be an incredible treat because
you're non-binary.
Exactly. And on Makini Live, this is what's going to happen. If you could blow my screen up just for a moment.
I'll blow you up. Hang on.
Are we part of the Makini Nation now?
Ooh, Makini Nation.
Yeah, the Makini Nation. Oh,
Is this going to demonetize us if you're getting blown up?
This is
holy cow.
It's a sketchbook tour. We are doing a full sketch. We're doing a sketchbook tour. This is just only a small stack of the hundreds of sketchbooks I've collected since high school. So, guys,
what do you do with your spare time?
I draw a lot.
That's the joke.
So yeah, we get to look at old drawings. We get to look at just kind of how I came to be and such. And I'm very much looking forward to it. So guys, this is going to be a very special treat for me and special treat for you guys. So this is definitely a Makini Live y'all don't want to miss. So you guys really love a lot of the stuff I've been doing, especially been following me since day one. And if you guys want to see what it was like for me kind of getting started,
be part of the Makini Nation.
Yeah,
that's
CSF
right.
Nation, baby. So
that's right.
Channel memberships will be next season. Just stay tuned for that, though.
That's amazing because if that's just a small sampling, that was 10 books that you showed a stack of. So that's
most of it, and a lot of it's all the way back since high school.
The gifted artistry of Makini draws. Makini 90, my buddy Makini. Speaking of
and that's impressive because he's 19.
Is he only 19?
No, I was 18. I was like 17. Yeah.
No, the joke was you're 19 now. You filled all those books up. So never mind. I know, right? The joke went
right over my head because it's been 19 years. Yep, it's been 19
years.
Yeah, no, really, it's been 19 years since high school. So.
That's ironic.
All right. Well, we've got a few other people to introduce, and we're going to say hi to all of you. Thanks for being here, everybody. We've got AFK Bard joining us today. How are things, AFK?
Hi. Things are good.
Good.
Carry on.
Carry on. All right. Well, moving right along.
That's all.
We've got Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Espanol, Midnight Mead Radio 1, Mead Radio 2, and the up and coming channel, Midnight Snacks. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tom Connors.
Last night's midnight snack. Let me think. What was it?
Apparently, it was something that didn't settle well.
No, what didn't settle with me well was my breakfast sandwich yesterday morning.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm not a huge egg fan, but I took a chance and I went to this little corner place. It's usually pretty good. They got great bakery there and stuff like that. But I had this egg and Gouda cheese and bacon sandwich on homemade sourdough, and just since then it's just been egg burps.
No bueno.
Yeah. And I woke up like 20 damn times.
That's no bueno. Well, speaking of somebody who doesn't need to wake up, it's Minisphere. We got Mirrorsphere's.
No, he's falling asleep.
Yeah, I know.
He's tired.
We're that boring.
How's it going, brother? You doing good?
Yeah, doing good.
All right. Everything going well? Getting some sales together?
More. Yeah.
There you go. That's the important thing. We got our good buddy Mirrorsphere, and I'm going to let him not talk so we can get the little one to sleep. But we need to get started saying hi to each and every one of you. We got, of course, Dr. Dragon in the house. Good to see you. It is a slow news day indeed, but we have a lot to laugh at. That's for sure. Dr. Dragon says Valiant Renegade will have another coverage of the Disney call. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, I will be listening to it as well. I already scheduled it on my YouTube. Should be very interesting. Good. We got Jaffo out there saying sup to you, my friend. Sean Estep. We've got Shrap 3D, emotionally unstable amphetamine, or otherwise known as Tina Bojan, is joining us. Of course, we also have the actual emotionally unstable amphibian that'll probably be here as well. We've got Six here saying, okay, I'm here. You may start. Okay, I just did. Judicon is here. And we also have D-Bud Martin. Keely Chow is here. Roll Tide. The lovely Sherry is here. Looks like Sean Landrigan is joining us today. Thunderduck. What's up, Thunderduck? We got Scott Westbrook in the house. Good to see you, Scott. I think I said hi to Olaf already. Who else is here? Oh, Joker voice. Hello. Can you do the Joker?
Hello, everybody. Hell chat. Hello, fellow wretches. Hail Paddle. And hail CultureCasino.
Well, thank you. And
Hail Drunk 3PO.
That was beautiful.
Hail Drunk 3PO. Hail Rob Altus. Hail Indy Phantom. Hail all of you guys. I'm so happy everybody's here. I'm pretty stoked.
There's hail outside.
Dude, Storm Cell this morning was a lot of fun. JT Gunn is here. Guys, check out JT Gunn late night with Cap. Check that out. Check out.
Did you just say cum?
No. JT Gunn.
Oh,
It sounded like cum to me.
I'll just say gum.
Warner Brothers got a dose of life support, and anime got a kick in the nuts. I'm actually a little shocked by it all. Yeah, the Sony thing with gosh, and the name of the company just fell out of my head.
Nestle Crunchyroll.
What was it?
Crunchyroll.
And they bought up. I know exactly what
they bought up. Yeah, that other anime studio. Gosh darn it, I'll remember the name eventually. Got Cody Guy out there. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see who else is here. John Edgar's here. Looks like Mighty Orbots is here, as is. Let's see. Oh, Runner. Hey, Runner. Hope you're doing good, buddy. I got Carl Anderson in the house. Looks like James Hurley says, did you see the Bullet Train? It was pretty fun. No wokeness. I can't wait to see Bullet Train. I've
heard mixed reactions on it, but
if I can squeeze it in after I record 3 more videos today, I will.
I think the box office shows that it's going to be tough to sell a movie right now. It's not a sequel, huh?
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
It didn't do the greatest, I heard.
Well, it's part of it. In fact, that's the first thing we're going to cover today. So we'll take a look at that. Indeed. We got Robert Hammer here. We got Drunk. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Happy Sunday.
Jay.
I hope you're doing well, Jay.
Sup?
I never heard back to you about the thing, so I will. I'll try to reach out. Hopefully, I'll see you. Hopefully, I see you in Vegas.
Nobody gets back to me anymore, though. So
I get back to you.
Yeah, but you don't count.
Feliato is here. Speaking of my great audience, we've got a few other folks here. Oh, and Olafanes sends a €2 super chat. Says
Ooh.
a loaf to drunk 3PO? A loaf.
Toast.
Sorry, Jay, couldn't resist. Oh, a toast? No,
Oh,
it's like a loaf of bread.
Oh, I get it. So it's like a whole bunch of toast
Bread
all at
is like
once.
toast. Yeah, it's like toast.
it's bread.
Get it? Huh? Get it?
That's what I'm guessing.
That's the yeast of our problems.
Culture is, I am super unbreaded. That's true. Yeah. Mike likes tacos. We got Small Time Republic here. You guys are awesome. Man Squatch, what's up? Deleted Scenes, what's up, Steven? Let's see. Why is everybody going after Jay for toast? I don't know. That's crazy. Wes is joining us, though. Hi, Wes. How are you?
Because he
buddy?
likes buttered toast.
Doing good.
I like buttered toast. Do you like buttered toast, Wes?
You
I
clearly
do, but
don't
it's-
watch drunk shows.
I do. Look, I've been occupied. There's a certain hetero life mate that's making demands on me more regularly now. So.
That's why you never show up.
What did I just walk into here?
It's fine. It's just a little spat. How are
Mom
you
and
doing,
Dad are
Wes?
fighting.
How's Whatevercast going? Is it growing?
It's growing. Yeah, it's going. It's growing. We're doing great. I'm almost done with episode 5 in Conspiracy Chronicles. That was cool.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait either. It's going really well, like amazingly well.
Wes
I
is
heard it was a conspiracy.
It was.
It always is.
It was.
Yeah, I'm not a
Listen,
coincidence theorist.
Listen, all y'all. It's sabotage.
Probably.
That was beautiful.
No, thank you. Emotionally unstable amphetamine, otherwise known as Tina Bojan, says for $2, where's Sporking? I don't know. See, this is how I make money. If Scott's not on the stream makes money. I mean, drunk 3PO like set the precedent. If Scott's not there, super chat.
Don't worry, we won't let him on.
Yeah, I was going to
Coach
invite him
chat,
to
I love
the monetization stream now if you brought that up.
I gotta stream.
You guys, I feel bad. Stop being mean to Jay. I love Jay. Okay. Look, you want to talk some movie stuff? Let's talk some movie stuff. Let's get started here
Yeah.
in the entertainment world. Let's do that. Oops, that's not gonna work. See, I'm a professional YouTuber, folks. I can share things. So far,
Here's
not
my
doing good.
impression of Hollywood.
Kind of right. Every video I'm doing this week kind of speaks to that to some extent. But let's look at Bullet Train, because I'm going to see this film hopefully today, just a little while. Bullet Train clocks at 62.5 million global. Jurassic World Dominion overtakes Doctor Strange 2. And Top Gun Maverick crosses 1.35 billion. See, I said it. It might get to 1.4 in the international box office. So it's doing quite well. Now, we're going to look at these numbers here. We've got coming in just slightly ahead of the pre-weekend projections. Sony's Bullet Train pulled into 57 markets for 32.4 million international box office launch, which included the domestic start. The global debut is 62.5 million. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, not horrible, but
It's not great. But the Brad Pitt star rode the
What
biggest
was the
offshore
budget?
opening. This is the biggest offshore opening for a non-IP studio since Tenet, and is tracking similar to Murder on the Orient Express and Kingsman: The Secret Service. As with stateside, audience reactions are beating critical notes abroad, and there are still several key markets to come as the holidays continue.
Wait, hang on a second here. Did they remake Murder on the Orient Express, or are they talking about the one that had Daisy Ridley in it?
I think they're talking about that film, the most recent version of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was okay.
But I'm sorry, but 62.5 billion is a pretty decent chunk of change, considering that, films with much bigger budgets, are getting their clocks cleaned right now, including, Light Beer, right? Which we don't have to go that far back, just a few weeks, 6 weeks back, in fact, to go. Light Beer was a catastrophic failure, which I'm actually doing a video on this week. But Bullet Train, I'm looking up the numbers right now. Bullet Train movie budget. We'll see where that falls. Do you think this film's going to be successful? We'll start first with Makini. Makini, A, have you seen Bullet Train? And B, do you think it'll be successful?
No, I have not. And I think what's the budget?
Well, I'm working on the budget right now. It shows at 85.9 million.
It might break even, and the keyword is might. But I think I'm leaning towards what Tom said earlier. I think we're in a time now where I think the only thing people want to see now is either sequels or remakes.
Are you sure are they dumb? Or am I just completely wrong on this? I could have swore New Guy made, or well, whatever the hell. Free Guy made more money than Tenet did in its opening. Like, I would consider that the most successful non-franchise film in the last.
Does that
come out before? I could have swore that come out after Tenet, though, but I could be wrong. I thought it came out in the thick of the pandemic.
Tenet came out in the thick of it.
That came out in December, though. I want to say Free Guy came out in like that spring. I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, moving on. My bad.
No, there's no bad here. Let's see. AFK, what do you think?
Oh gosh, I don't know enough about this one to really say anything, but at least from a normie point of view, I've never seen any trailers for this. I don't really hear about it at all. So if they're looking for people to come in, unless they're like aware of this like already, I don't know. I don't feel like it'll pull in a lot of people.
So you don't think it'll be driven by word of mouth or anything then?
No.
Yeah, Free Guy and Tenet were released the same year, and Tom, you were correct. The numbers, Free Guy just dominated it like a lot. Like, not just
did Free Guy come out first though? That's the thing.
Sure, I can look that up too. Looks like you have Free Guy on August 13th.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
And then September 3rd, which is just after.
Why.
Wait. They weren't released the same year. They were both slated to be released in 2020. Tenet released in September of 2020. Free Guy.
I'm right then.
Free Guy was August 13th, 2021.
21. Exactly. So that was the last original film.
Yeah, you are correct.
So they're wrong. I'm smarter than Deadline. Haha. Nancy, you're dumb.
That's mean. I don't know that I'd say it that way, Tom.
No, I can say it all I want. I'm feeling shitty.
Maybe I should have posed this question differently. Who's here willing to go see Bullet Train or has seen?
I'll wait for the streaming video thingy.
So to chime in Uber normie, if AFK had the normie perspective, I guess I have the Uber normie perspective because I've not heard of this film. I have no idea what it's about or anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you haven't heard
Brad Pitt's on a bullet train.
Yeah. Is this like Speed except with Brad Pitt?
There's a train full of assassins. They're all after this one case that has a bunch of money in it. It's worth like millions of dollars. And Ladybug is played by Brad Pitt and has to secure the case and keep. So it's kind of an ass kicking at high speed film.
I think the problem, maybe at least for me, is that my head immediately goes, there's like 50 movies out there already that have to do with some sort of train and heist thing. And it just looks and sounds really generic to me. So like, I don't know. It just doesn't have anything appealing. I mean, not even Brad Pitt. Like Brad Pitt needs to be in something like big and wow for me nowadays because he ain't doing it like he used to.
Well,
that might be a little sacrilegious of me to say.
No, I think you're on to, at least with the I can't speak to the latter part, but I can speak to the former, where you're like, yeah, like most of these films that are quote unquote original anymore, the sad part is a lot of them just feel like a generic ripoff of whatever franchise film is big at the time, right? Like Free Guy is the only one that I can think of offhand that was semi-original, right? Like, sure, it was kind of like GTA the movie, but what are you gonna do? That's like the closest you're ever gonna get to GTA the movie, right? Like, I mean, so outside of that, I mean, there has not been another original film that I can think of in the last year offhand. Like, I got to go all the way back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to think of something really good.
Yeah. There's not a lot of really good out there in the world. That's the sad things.
Sorry, I take that back. The Unbearable Weight of
Oh,
massive talent or whatever is
Yeah, but
that
wasn't
was
just like
genius.
Yeah, but that was a spoof on Cage himself. I mean, it's like
Sort of, but you're right. Like its selling point, I mean, you could argue is kind of a gimmick in itself, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
And you know what? Horseradish Power says Bullet Train's more like a Tarantino film, but lighter. And that's exactly some of the critics have said and used that as a negative talking point. I'm like, wait a minute, that's going to have even more appeal than even a regular Tarantino film because it's going to be slightly less dark. So sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free Guy was a better version of Ready Player One.
Yeah, I can see that too in a way.
Mhm.
Yeah, or Pixels, right?
Yeah, Pixels was a very wasted opportunity.
Yeah, and well, wait. Let's see. Somebody said something. Glinzer says that it's Bullet Train sounds like District B12 plus Snow.
Yeah, there was that Snowpiercer movie too. Yeah.
Yeah. I look. I
mean, I
like-
don't want to sound like I'm discouraging to original properties. I would like to see something that, catches my eye. Like it's been a while since we've had a Baby Driver or something like that really,
Right.
or a John Wick even, right? Or something that can create a new franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we're almost 10 years out from the original John Wick now.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's amazing considering that film franchise has got at least this next one and the following one coming. So, Indy Phantom says, speaking of Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah,
Yep.
great film.
Well, Brad is one of the guys I would still put in that list of guys who probably could sell a
Drive
movie
something.
still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Like, I mean, he's definitely in the top 5 list, probably was Chris Pratt and,
Yeah, Pratt can drive.
Tom Cruise possibly. And, Will Smith used to be on that list, but he slid completely off it at this point.
Well,
Right.
how long has it been since we've had a real, true original property? I mean, Tenet's kind of falls in line with his gimmick, right? That supposedly they're all linked somehow. And the Nolan,
Well, I mean, we've had original stuff, like I just said, Baby Driver to a point. But I mean, if you want to go back to something that spawned a franchise, John Wick is like the last thing we've had that's been like the new franchise kicker that came from something original that wasn't a comic book or a pre-existing television show or movie.
Man. Horseradish Power saying lots of positive things here. So I'm definitely seeing this film. And 6 is right. The best film I have seen in a long time is RRR.
I'm talking about real American movies, though, here.
Okay. All right. Well, then the best film I've seen overall is going to be Top Gun Maverick. But that's, again, it's a derivative property. It's a sequel.
Well, in all seriousness, no, that's probably why a lot of these type of films like RRR are starting to make waves in America, is because we're getting sick and tired of the same old shit. But
yeah. And look, I mean, you've hey, Bruce is here. I didn't see Bruce pop in. But Boss Level. Yeah, a lot of people like Boss Level.
I forgot about that one.
But there's, with so many sequels, it'd be nice if Ex Machina got.
Aren't they supposed to be making one for that?
There's you and I both saw that, right?
Or is it a series? There's something they're working on. I know
working on. You and I both saw that, and then it went quiet.
Well, the problem with the pandemic is that put a lot of things, kind of on the back burner, on hold. And then you look at the Warner situation now, where there's a lot of people who are questioning whether or not they're coming back to work, right? Like, we've even heard stuff from Script Doctor where some of his friends are like, God, I hope I get some notes. Because they got a bunch of shows and movies now that are in like this list of holding. And if you get notes, then that's a sign that the show's going to go on. If you don't get any notes, then chances are you're done. So, yeah.
And Jane, I'm with you. I'm kind of feel over American cinema for the most part. So I understand that.
I understand that sentiment too, but I'm also American film lover, right? Exactly. I was very offended when, Parasite or whatever won Best Picture. To me, it's like, okay, fine, best foreign film, but it shouldn't be allowed in the best picture category.
And that actually kind of destroyed, the Oscars. That was probably, in my opinion, the death blow, to be honest with you, because it stripped all credibility away from
Not only that, Tarantino deserved it that year. I'm fucking sorry. This is getting ridiculous. This man needs an Oscar already, besides the writing one.
Well, and he's about ready to, call it quits. So do it fast, guys, because you missed a great chance. So I think somebody said something that I love, the Battle Angel, Alita Battle Angel. I love Alita. I think it's a great property. I'm surprised they didn't make a sequel already.
And I get it. It's supposed to be like the North American Oscars, but at the same time, like, and there might be some pushback to that, but every other country has their own Oscars. Why don't we? That's what bothers me. It's like you got the British Oscars, you got all these other countries with their own Oscars. We should be able to have at least the North American, like Canada and America combined. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, you know, when I was looking up Bullet Train the first time, when it first was announced that it was coming, right, I found this film. Bullet Train 1975 was a Japanese film. And this latest iteration is not. Not that I think the plots are similar, but I think it's interesting. So,
well, you have that too, right? Like a lot of these original, quote unquote, original films that we've gotten in the last 10, 20 years have all been remakes of foreign films anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Even Departed was Internal Affairs or whatever. And gosh, there was another one too I can't think of offhand. But people were even accusing Nolan of stealing some foreign films, I remember.
Yeah, well, and everybody's inspired by somebody else to some extent, but you don't want to rip off their stuff directly. But you're not wrong, Indie Phantom. I mean, there have been some great original horror projects out there. I'm getting ready to watch or do a review on, I should say, the Indian horror film Toombot. But yeah, I mean, Midsummer. I'm not as high on that as some people. I'm not as high on Last Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho is one that should be talked about with original films, and also same thing within the chat. I seen
here it
Black
is.
Phone
Black
brought
Phone.
up, but that's the thing is horror always gets ignored. That's another problem. But
let's see. They sure do like taking Japanese film names like Ironheart. Prey is a stolen idea. There's a lot of.
I heard something about that. Yeah,
there's a lot of entities that are being sued right now because they are outright lifting from other people, and that's just that's not the way to create it. It's a way to get sued. It's a way to piss off production companies and studios. Don't do that. So what happened with War Monkey? Stop confusing the conversation with facts.
We're picking on 6 for actually making sense.
Oh, she does. I love 6. Speaking of which, can I ask a question? Are any of you, do any of you care about the Sandman?
No,
not really.
So this is the weirdest critique that I've seen on this. Apparently, the Sandman has a weird aspect ratio. So
what do you mean by weird?
I don't know. I mean, is it 4:3? So so Netflix is explaining the deliberate creative choice behind the divisive, skewed imagery. I mean, is it like all Dutch angle? I mean, what is it? Because I haven't watched it. Does anybody want to clue me in?
Wasn't there a movie?
No idea.
Wasn't there a movie that started off with a very wide aspect ratio, and as the movie went on, it went 16:9, and then eventually ended up 4:3? What movie was that?
I'm trying to remember. I know what you're talking about too, Wes, and I can't think of it. It was because in the movie they were trying to make you feel like you're getting claustrophobic, and I can't remember what it was now. But yeah, you're right.
I don't mind little camera gimmicks and things in films, but this kind of seems weird, right? Jane Theory's seen this, so Sandman's okay so far. I'm a few episodes in. I haven't even touched it yet. 6 says I love the pilot of the Sandman, so I'm going to be interested in people's position on this, whether or not they've been exposed to the book.
Andre's the biggest fan I know, so I'm just going to wait to hear what he says.
That's probably a good call. That's a good call. Bruce, what's up, buddy? He says in the absence of good movies, the pandemic has some amazing documentaries.
Yeah. Well, there's always great documentaries.
Yeah, one of my favorites is about the 1980s, 90s cinema. I think it was In Search of Tomorrow. Wow. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Bruce.
I love documentaries.
I watch a lot of them. I think it is meant to make you feel like you're in a different world. So that's why they're skewing this. So because in the article it says, why does everything look so stretched upwards? It's supposed to be dreamy and I'm just an uncultured swine, or is there something wrong when you start? So Simon, viewers first noticed the skewed images in the trailers of the series, sparking some trepidation among fans of the original comic book series. The distorted images were not isolated to the trailer, remaining a mainstay in the series itself. So let me know if that's distracting going forward. I'm just curious, but I find it fascinating that would be a complaint that you would see about a product. Very strange. Tim says, I haven't noticed anything. Well, there you go. Yeah, and you're right. The Mandalorian did do something weird with their aspect ratio, Dutch angle shot weirdness. Yeah. Neil Gaiman is a tool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts. I just watched a few seconds of the trailer. It's all like in a stretch skewed, but it's still in 235. So
Oh wow.
it's kind of annoying.
You know what is annoying? You know, I'm getting mad. I'm getting on my soapbox. So you know, we went to this 16:9 aspect ratio on everything: laptops, TVs,
right,
computer monitors, and all of a sudden, these creatives all of a sudden are going with that really cinematic, you know, squished aspect ratio. I'm like, what the hell?
That's always
leave it there.
Well, that's always been a part of cinema, but in this case, honestly, by looking at this, if you could figure out a way to stretch it on your 16:9 screen, it looks like it would fill it out. It looks like they filmed it in 16:9 or 185 and then decided at the last minute to put it in that scope ratio like you're talking about, Wes. But it's stretched, which is weird. So that wouldn't make sense. It would just make it even skinnier if you put it in 16:9. So in fact, you'd have to squish it even more. So this would be even wider widescreen. So it'd even be wider than probably any widescreen I've seen before. So like movies like Ben-Hur and that super widescreen, like I think this would be wider than that. You'd have to squish this down quite a bit.
Well, like, I mean, you're seeing, but you see that letterbox weirdness that Wes is referring to. That at
the
times,
letterbox part, I get what he's talking about. Like, but you can't do nothing about that. That's because the movies are shot in scope, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way they're shot. And if you zoom them into 16:9, you're going to miss a little bit on the sides.
You lose a ton on the sides.
Well, not a ton anymore like you used to, but like you're still it's going to be noticeable in some things.
Here's the thing: just shoot it in open mat, right? And then.
Well, this is dumb because you'd have to squish it again to get it to be the right aspect ratio. So what Wes is talking about is doubly true here. You'd have double the black. So this would literally be like a band on the center of your screen if you put it in the right ratio.
Jesus Christe, Domino. This isn't a geometry class. Just watch the show.
Yeah, but that drives me nuts.
What's up, Rogue?
I feel like my TV isn't putting it right in the right aspect.
Oh, man. Yeah. And you know, I like 16:9, right? I mean, first of all, it is probably the most comfortable thing that you can
that format was fitted that way because that's the most central format between all the aspect ratios.
Yep.
So that 9 times out of 10, you're going to see most of the screen no matter what you're watching. Yeah, sometimes you're going to get stuff on the side, sometimes you're going to get stuff on the top and the bottom, but they picked 16:9 because it's the center of all of the different aspect ratios, basically.
Yeah.
I remember my first introduction to ratios, because honestly, growing up, you know, I never think about that stuff when it's on TV and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I used to watch the Ghostbusters because it was like it would repeat on TV all the time. And then I finally saw some sort of widescreen whatever edition, and I was like, holy crap, they literally edited out Winston in almost every single scene because he's off on the one side. And so on TV they squished everything down and cut it off. And so he's in scenes that I don't remember him being in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's crazy. And then the opposite end of that was when they remastered Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, and they widened it. And then you see stage crew and stuff off on the sides. And I'm like, I was very surprised by that.
Well, at least they did that much. I've seen a lot of shows now. The thing is to crop them off. So if they were shot in 4:3 for television, they'll actually crop them off to 1.85, so you're missing top and the bottom.
And
they do a horrible job.
It's terrible. A Dash Attack for $4.99 says Netflix and Snyder are really banking on Rebel Moon to compete with Star Wars. Have you seen the concept sketches? Yeah, I did. I've seen some other stuff there, Dash. I don't know how they can anticipate that it's going to compete with Star Wars, but you know, this is if Snyder.
I guess they're banking on Snyder being a brand now.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, in as much as his Snyderverse version of DC is beloved by certain humans, I'm going to tell you, Snyder's latest entry into the universe was poor at best. And Tig Notaro or whatever did I say the name right?
You did, but nobody cares.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was just epically bad. You know what? Just leave the dude, Chris. It was Chris D'Elia that they pulled out for Tig. And I just leave Chris in there. and then be done with it. You know, the people can make claims about other stuff that later are proven wrong. We just watch that happen in real time. So, you know, just release it. Script doctor's arguing with me. Snyder is a brand, not a good or inventive one, but he's a brand.
Well, that's what I meant. He is technically, but I think at some point people are going to see he's not as popular as certain aspects of the media would like you to believe.
Yeah. Army of the Dead is something that's sad mode. So I hear you. Hey, Katina. I see Katina in the house. What's going on?
Here's the thing about Snyder. You hear more about him because he's so divisive, right? That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like a not funny. He's a not funny Taika Waititi, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Well, the difference is bring up a benign director, a beloved director like Richard Donner or something like that. Nobody's going to have a bad word to say about him, right?
Yeah.
You bring up Zack Snyder in a group of people, there's going to be some discussion on who likes and who doesn't like him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing with Rian Johnson, right? You know, set him free on things that are not Star Wars, like his own stuff, and it's okay. Although, we'll see. I
put him more in the Waititi boat, and a lot of that's his own fault for opening his own stupid mouth.
And destroying things. And Lucas is a perfect director. I don't know about that either. I would love to say that. A lot of his stuff gets saved in the editing.
Yeah, he directs from the producer's chair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least he did for many years.
You don't want to support it at all. Which thing there, Gilkman? Hang on. I think Marvel will return to form, but that's wishful thinking. I'll not be seeing the Flash movie because of Ezra or Aquaman because of the disgusting with Ezra and her. Dude, I'm there with you. I think most of us are.
I don't think Amber's going to be in Aquaman.
Well, we already know.
I'm almost pretty sure of that, and I'm almost pretty sure that Ezra's not going to be in the Flash.
Well, someday you and I are going to have to compare notes and make sure we're not talking to the same people. So
Fingers crossed.
Let's see. We've got Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. Thank you, Pinochet. Pinochet really knows how to entertain his guests in a helicopter. For a minute, anyway. Do you know what culture jamming is?
Yes, but the boss promised us not to talk about it on stream.
What? That's not it. What would happen, say, if subscribers move to the Middle East version of streaming platforms to avoid ideology? If you have a VPN, you can do that, and
like Surfshark.
Yeah. There's a channel I know that is sponsored by a VPN, I think exactly Surfshark. I'm not promoted by them. I'm not giving them an endorsement, but there are channels that are supported by them, and they will give you a discount if you use their discount code on acquiring it. And yes, you can view different libraries in different places, including Disney Plus, because guess what? They're not streaming on Disney Plus. Light beer.
Thomas clarified. He said, "I will not be taking anything that is a rumor until it's 100% true and confirmed." Yeah. Sorry, Thomas.
Well, that's fair.
Amen.
That's fair. And I will say this though, as far as this Warner Brothers reporting goes, our reporting has been more on than anybody else's, I would say.
I can't agree with you more. I think you guys have had it more. You guys have more reliable information than even.
I mean, things are crazy right now. I will say that.
Compare your track record to Grace, right?
Or for that instance, or hardly any of the main media outlets.
Yeah, but Indie Phantom says American Graffiti is so dang good. I agree with you.
Yeah, it is good. You know what? I even like American Graffiti too, and maybe that's stupid, but I enjoy.
I give it credit for trying.
Yeah.
Marshall
Lucas
it's not as good as
the first one.
I guess Marshall Lucas hated editing the second film because George came up with that whole multiple takes thing, and that was nearly impossible to put together.
You know, can I ask a question? Because I put together Scott's thumbnail yesterday. Indie Phantom brings up Raiders, of course, as a superior film, but Temple of Doom is kind of an interesting thought process, right? So in one of the images released in Entertainment Weekly or in the recent media blitz for the Amazon, regurgitation of garbage in, what we want to think would be a Tolkien universe, they that one scene with the dwarves, doesn't that remind you of like the scene from the Temple of Doom where everybody's chanting Olaram, Balaram, whatever it is they're doing, like
Kalima,
Kalima, yeah,
Kalima.
yeah. Am I wrong? Because I'm
What
serious.
you talking about?
There's a scene right in Temple that looks exactly like the scene of somebody
Whoa.
eating their
Whoa,
microphone.
whoa. Sorry, what? I can't hear that.
Somebody ate their microphone.
Yeah, I think it was McKinney.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. So anyway, though, there's a scene. It feels like a shot for shot thing. I'll try and find the picture for you. But I was like going, this is very weird. So I don't.
I will say this: I saw news. Well, not really news. I found it on Epic Game Store that sometime next year they're coming out with a new Lord of the Rings game. The dwarves return
Gollum.
to Mordor, and it's supposed to be like a survival crafting game. And I'm actually like looking into it. It actually looks really good.
Really.
Yeah.
Is it the Gollum one? Yeah.
No, this is a different one. This was like
Okay.
the Fourth Age, and it's like after Aragon and everything. Like Gimli and a bunch of dwarves return to Moria to reclaim it, and you're a dwarf. And it's a survival game, so you and friends can go and dive down into Mordor, help make little bases and explore. And you got to watch out for like the shadow creatures that Gandalf talked about, and that live deep in the glooms and see
You fools.
And I fucking love dwarves, so I'm like, yes.
Go back to our prior comment. Man, I love Temple of
Indie.
Doom.
It's
That's
indie
my
company,
favorite
too.
indie.
So it's an indie company creating it. So it's not one of the big. It's just the Epic Game Store got it like an exclusive with them, so they're paying them to do it.
Wes, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying Temple of Doom. I love that movie. That's actually probably my favorite Indiana Jones movie. It's so different. It's just a fun ride. You have the scene with the carts. I love that scene.
It's probably the one that's most like the serials they're based on, really, if you think about it. In that respect, I mean, outside of like the first 20 minutes of Raiders, like Temple of Doom is probably the closest to those old serials. The old swashbuckling serials, yeah. You have a question here, Culture Tom from Joker Voice.
Oh.
Have either of you heard anything about Giancarlo Esposito? Jody Gibbs to you. Keep talking. No. But what I have heard is him going out there and saying, I'd love to play just about any part in the X-Men, which I'm sure if Script Doctor's still in the house will tell you, if somebody's out there boasting for a job like that, then that means nobody has talked to them about it yet.
Yeah, they're definitely that wouldn't surprise me. He's a great actor.
He wants to play Professor X, but I'd see him more as a Magneto.
Yeah, he'd be a pretty good Magneto. This is the scene I'm talking about. I'm going to pull it up now because I found the picture. Again,
is it a war cry you're talking about?
No.
Yeah, he wouldn't be bad as Dr. Doom either. That's not too bad. Dash attack.
Hang on. All right, where is it? Boom, there it is. Indiana Jones, Rings of Power. Oh wait, you guys can't see it. There it is. Professional YouTuber folks.
Kalima.
I don't know what this is, but this is not fucking Tolkien. Fuck them.
Pinochet's bringing another helicopter tour for all of us for $2. Says Wes, cart scene with stop motion G.I. Joe character.
Pretty much. I mean, where they're stop motion puppets, but yeah. So was I think one of the shots with the raft in the beginning.
The raft, yeah.
They get a lot of
robes. Chainmail, fucking chainmail and stuff like that. God.
What is this we're looking at here?
The Dorito chainmail.
This is the Rings of Power. This is the scene I was comparing to Temple of Doom. I think. Is
she going to start? No, I shouldn't go there.
Temple of Doom is I can see the similarity, but Temple of Doom much greater.
Indeed.
They're worshiping the Balrog.
So one of the things I don't want to push into the background is all the news we did get coming out of Warner Brothers Discovery. It's kind of a preview of what you're going to get probably as far as the fall off financially that Disney's going to experience. The only sector Disney will maintain or do well in is going to be theme parks. But we got to see Warner Brothers, kind of go out there and just destroy the hopes and dreams of all of the super message-driven humans in Hollywood, and they're reading about anything they can right now. And here's a column that just came out: how Batgirl acting in James Franco's Castro casting highlight Hollywood's persistent erasure of Latinos. Now, it seems like they were talking to Johnny Legs. Go ahead, Wes.
We're going back to Latino again. I thought Latinx was what was erasing Latinos.
I thought it was Latinx. How do you say it?
I don't know. It's made up.
Yeah.
I guess
aren't all words made up, Wes?
Wow. Anyway, look, they're like trying to say, well, this is anti-Latino, and it's not. The Batgirl got canceled have nothing to do with race. The casting of James Franco in this character has zero to do with
because
race.
He looks like the mofo.
Yeah. The only other guy that looks more like Castro is the dictator of Canada right now, Trudeau. And that's it. But that's because it's his dad. So that's why. I mean, this is a column, mind you. This is an opinion piece. But this guy's saying, indeed, Hollywood doesn't believe in Latino stories. Can I point at just a billion Latino stories out there that have been made in Hollywood?
I'm sorry. I thought they were white anyway. I'm confused.
Well, this is the problem with, identitarianism.
I don't understand anymore.
I love La Bamba. What a great film.
I love La Bamba. It is a great film. It was the 35th anniversary like 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God. Has it been out that long?
I know.
Holy crap.
Right?
That means I'm old now.
I know, right? That was my first cassette tape.
And mind you,
the
Leslie,
soundtrack, I mean.
I just want to say Leslie Grace is by all accounts a quality actress. She is somebody who definitely should be in projects. She was good in the musical that she was in
Heights.
Yeah, and she just wasn't properly cast, and all of those other issues that surrounded this film.
The thing is, Culture, and I think something some people brought this up, and I think the Batgirl cancellation.
Yeah.
I actually think that's actually beneficial. That's going to be beneficial to her career because if you think about it, think about how bad if you've been hearing about it was, that's probably would have been a bad stain on her career and not a good role that she's going to be remembered for. So they probably, in some ways, you could almost say that Warner Bros. Probably did her a favor.
Yeah, because that probably would have ruined her chances of her movie. Yeah,
exactly.
It's not the actresses; it's the freaking writers and the people who do this.
Yeah, it's the writer directors.
Like that one picture, they had like Batman with freaking her, and then they had a dude in the middle. And I thought that was like one of the characters that was supposed to be in the show, but no, it's a showrunner.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck is he wearing?
Oh man,
he looked like an actual Batman villain.
Well, the world is bonkers right now, and that's unfortunate. But we have a member chat for Dr. Dragon, who's been a member for 2 months, says Soft expected the D call this week, I predict. Yeah, I think Soft will be the nicest thing that'll be stated at the Disney Quarterly. But we'll see. That's Thursday, folks. So you pay attention to what's happening either on Midnight's Edge, Valiant Renegade, or even my channel, because I guarantee you I'm going to be talking about Disney next weekend extensively. I don't know. Jane Theory says they could have just hired a ginger Latina. That's true. They didn't. Yeah.
No, they're supposed to replace the gingers.
It's activist writer culture. Okay, all right, that's what it is. Yeah, Batgirl's costume was not great either. Look, Zaslav came out and told you what he plans to do, and your guys' perspectives on everything that happened this week at Warner Brothers Discovery is what I'm after here. So, do we believe? Let's just start with this question: do we believe? And Makini, you're up first. Do we believe that Zaslav is turning the company far away from the quote-unquote message? And going to try to guide it back towards something people will be exuberant about and positive about and make it profitable.
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I don't. because I was watching a video from the Fourth Age, and I had to think about this in a subtext format. No matter what the changes they do, it's still going to be in there.
Yeah.
I think what people don't, and I know this people are going to say I'm probably blackpilling saying this, but if you do think about it, there's probably already people in Warner Brothers in DC, and it's already too far in. What they're going to do is they're just going to push it. They're going to hold it back. They're going to push all the identity politics, all the messaging and stuff. That's just going to be used. That's going to be put through the back burner. And what they're going to do is they're going to push forward more on nostalgia, more on falling back on the iconic characters to help them propel, to help them start over. But what I think is going to happen is they're gonna push all that identity politics stuff crap in the back, but they're gonna slowly seed it in there, and it's gonna be subtlety. It's not gonna go away completely because it's going to be seeded in there in a different method. And that's kind of what I'm getting from it. It's not gonna be a complete 180, mainly because you have to look at this from the core aspect, from the subtext aspect, from the people behind it. The people are still going to be there. Well, they're just going to find a new method to do it. They're just going to find a new method to leave it in there.
I think, and I'm going to let Tom speak for himself, but first I'm going to let AFK get a chance at this. AFK, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be substantial change of direction for Warner Brothers?
I'd say it's like, I don't know. I'm not a movie buff person. I don't know all the back end stuff, but from what I pick up from people and from what I've seen, there's always seems to be a delay between like when something starts changing for when you actually see it because of, everything that's been like pre-produced and all that kind of stuff. But if they start like canceling stuff and hacking it off and like kind of like, I don't know, saving their butts, so to speak, and just move on to something new, I think it will happen a lot sooner.
Yeah. Tom, I know. Yeah, I want you to kind of restate your thoughts around this.
He's thinking real hard.
I was going to say, I think everybody else should chime in before I even get started.
All right. Well, then, okay. Wes, you're up.
I have to agree with Machini. You have people in the background there, and I believe those new Oscar rules are still in effect, are they not? Yeah. So if you want an Oscar, you're going to have to cater to that criteria.
And here's the thing. And the thing is with me is just like, say if Zaza plan was like, let's shelve DC entirely. DC Comics is a brand and everything. We're going to kick everybody. We're going to fire everyone. We're going to let DC Comics just shelf for a couple years and then bring it back with an entire new cast. Would it entice me to go back into it? Probably not. Maybe because one, I know I'm going to get burned. I've been burned once. I'm not going to get burned again. And two, think about the people behind it. Think about their intentions. Like you look at like Victoria Alonso and stuff like that. You see the stuff seeding into the MCU and such like that. I guess I look at it from intention. I look at it from what are the motives of the people behind these changes, because it's not going to feel as genuine. It's not going to feel as like actually advancing. It's going to feel like they're just finding another way to put the message in.
Again, time.
I know it sounds blackpillish, but it's just
I share the black pillness, and you go from woke to diet woke.
Whoa! All right, that's a great way to say it. Diet woke.
I just think there's going to be another way. They're going to find a way to do.
Well, I think you're still going to have progressive messaging, but I'm going to leave that for others to comment. So the next person up, I think, with Mirrorsphere, thoughts, because I want Tom to get there, because Tom's going to go for a bit.
I know I heard, I saw what they're saying, and that one guy, I can't think of his name, but the one that came in is pretty much tearing everything apart, and because he needs to. I liked some of the stuff he said, like, these are franchises with a huge history, and we need to make them for the people who've loved it the whole time. Like, keep it to what it's been the whole time. what it was originally meant to be, not change it for our own whatever, because that just alienates everyone. But then I don't know. He could be completely. I don't know. I'd hope they would fix it up. DC has some wonderful characters, but not with the people that in it now. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Tom, you get the floor. So go to town.
Well, I mean, Zaslav to me comes off as that cool conservative uncle you have that makes you wonder why your broke ass hippie parents hate conservatives, right? Like he is just cool, calm, collected, knows what he's doing, comes in the door, acts like daddy's home. Like the first fucking thing he told them guys is like, if you expect to work here, then you need to show up to work, because he's like, enough of this working from home bullshit. Right. And then, since then he's done nothing but just cut, and look at what works and doesn't work. And that's what he does best. I mean, there's some people who are very upset about some of the changes he's made to some of the Discovery networks over the years, but you cannot fault him for what he's done, because he's done what works. And I pointed out time and time again, before any of this happened, before Discovery even became a part of Warner Brothers, I kept telling people, watch out for Discovery Plus. They're the little app that could, it seems like. Mm-hmm. And the reason I said that is because everybody I would talk to, as far as normies or the general people that I have in my life, like my family and all that stuff, friends and whatnot, like when I would talk to them about streaming services just to kind of get a general gauge of what they got and what they like and what they don't like, almost every one of them would bring up the Discovery app. And when I'd ask, well, what's the deal with that? It's like, I have to have it. It's like the wife and I have to have it. 90 Day Fiance or whatever the hell show it was at the time that they were attaching something to this app. So to me, that's what clicked with me, is that have to have mentality about it. It's not, I like it or I want it. It's, I have to have it. Right. And that used to be Netflix. People used to be like, I have to have Netflix. I can't not have Netflix. It just used to be so, and nowadays it's like, well, fuck Netflix. And that's kind of the thing with Zaslav, is he comes in, he takes a look at something, he's like, that's working, that's not working. So I understand where McKinney's coming from. Is no, I don't think that the progressive stuff is necessarily going to go away, but I think a lot of the woke shit is going to go away. And this is what I've been telling people for a while. And that is because they're starting to realize the difference to a point. And I think Zaslav's looking at all these things, and it's not just DC that's getting keyed in on, although he stated in the earnings call, and as we had reported prior to that, which I loved that earnings call, because that earnings call basically confirmed a shit ton of our reporting. Yeah. And made me feel really good about my sources too, because a lot of the shit I was hearing, like direct terms, like 10-year plans, things of that sort, were things that I've been hearing for months. Right. So I'm very confident that Zaslav is going to try to do his best, not to get just DC back on track, but Warner Brothers back on track, because he's right. They have the tools. They just need the talent to use those tools to rebuild Warner Brothers back to where it was. Because I reminded people, there was a time when Warner Brothers was technically more powerful than Disney in Hollywood. Yeah. Exactly. And they had a lot of sway and say. And a lot of people try to go back and remember, the whole DVD, boom, they had the Blu-ray versus HD DVD. Well, a lot of people seem to think and remember that Disney won that war. No, it wasn't. It was Warner Brothers who decided that war in one weekend. Yeah. It was at the CES convention that year, and they flat out told them that we're going to go with Blu-ray, and HD was dead by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, our Consumer Electronics Show back then. It was
and that's the thing. Warner Brothers used to have not just like DC, but they have Looney Tunes. They got all these other franchises and almost 100 years worth of movies.
Yep.
And he knows, Zaslav knows, that as long as DC can be a winning formula, that can float in everything else in the company. So they can take all kinds of chances doing other things, right? That's the thing. So if they can get DC working, that's the key. And I know some people are freaking out because he's flat out said, we're going to do what Marvel did. That's one of the reasons he brought in Alan Horn.
Yep.
Right. And what he means by that, he's not saying that they're going to emulate Marvel's films. No. He wants to emulate the structure. He wants to emulate the idea of how they were figured out. He wants to make a DC film studio. Yep. He wants, somebody to oversee the production side of things, somebody to see the creative side of things. Mm-hmm. He's talked to everybody in Hollywood. We have heard rumors that he's talked to everybody from even Kevin Feige, for instance, about this.
He's talked to
and Feige even supposedly thought about it for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talked to Favreau. He's asked James Gunn to take over the creative side. He's talked to David Ayer, supposedly, or not David Ayer, the guy who did Joker. Somebody help me out here.
God dang it.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, though.
Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Thank you.
Todd
He's talked to
Phillips.
Todd Phillips about it. Supposedly, he even talked to Peter Rice before Peter Rice was fired. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on here that I know Zaslav is looking at every avenue, every way, shape, or form. And the thing that really told me that they're on the right track was that first of all, when they said that we don't believe in going straight to streaming.
We
anymore.
laughed heartily.
And laughed hard at that. And then the other thing that we loved was that, you know, they said that there is different demographics, right? Like that was the thing that everybody was reading out about, was the male demographic and the female demographic, and how the breakdown goes and how they view their audience, right? And to me, that tells me how they're going to gear things in the future. Yeah. You're going to see Discovery continue to do what it does, and that's not going to change much. But HBO Max, I think, is going to get back to form. And what I mean by that is they remember when HBO was a male-driven network.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they're going to go back to a lot of their classic style, because HBO used to be that. Remember, you used to have HBO.
Yeah, it was appointment television on a pay scale, right? Which they created.
Take me back to the have thing. But anyway, sorry, Culture.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And look, more, if they quit woke, they're going to lose out on ESG credits. Yes, but that's okay, because as Dash Attack is pointing out, ESG is burning. It's burning.
They're weathering the Batgirl storm just fine.
Yeah,
Zaslav is not flinched.
Yeah, and you look at ESG as a thing right now, and there are multiple business entities and publications that are pointing out the folly of pursuing that kind of a thing in light of, you know, the lack of profitability behind it, you know, and not only that, I mean, it's destructive in and of itself and leads to decay within these megacorps that these, you know, you want to try to maintain. So you'll have to figure out a different way to fund this shit. But
let me tell you how decisive Zaslav is. Right. By the time we heard about Batgirl being dead, it was not only dead, it had an autopsy and a funeral.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is the people behind the film hadn't even heard about it yet. They were lobbying to try and save it, and Zaslav, like, there's no saving it. It's dead. It's a fucking corpse. Leave it alone. Like, there was no going back. Like, no amount of you're going against none of that is going to change his mind. This thing is done. Yeah. It is over with. This is all set in stone. There's nothing you can change about it. This wasn't the rumor getting out there to try and save it. This was the rumor getting out there that this guy has made this choice and he's not going back, and a lot of other things are going to change going forward. He axed a bunch of shit. And like we said at the beginning part of this whole thing, when I said there's a few things that are sitting on a waiting list right now, and they're praying to God they get notes, because otherwise they're the next to get axed. So you see things like this Gotham Knights show saying, oh, we're not canceled yet. Yeah, you're probably one of those shows on that list. If Script Doctor's in the house, let me know. I'm curious, because I'm sure they are.
Yeah. Right.
But real quick, I want to get, because I have a couple things marked in the back that I want to get to. First and foremost, but Dash Tack for $4.99 said Netflix and Snyder are banking on Rebel Moon. I think I got that one. Mr. Tickle Trunk said, I volunteer as tribute for $2. Okay, I'm not sure what that refers to, but sure.
Tribute to whom and why?
I don't know. Maybe getting tickled by me, I guess, because now this is a thing. Apparently 6 member for 6 months, 10 months total. She's the high roller. Thanks, 6. Says, Culture, have you ever tickled a full-grown man? Because drunk 3PO count? I don't know.
And he's not supposed to tell people about our incident.
That wasn't tickling. I mean, maybe. But
that's what, well.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, and Script says anything from the CW slate before the change of ownership is likely to get axed. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I just want to say, how cool was it for her to get paid to wreck the Batmobiles and then not even have to worry about showing up in a movie? I mean, how awesome is that?
It was
So jealous.
that is. I mean, I'm jealous. Get paid and don't have to perform because in the end, nobody sees anything. But emotionally unstable amphibians here. Good to see you, my friend.
For those who might actually think that's real, that's actually a Babylon Bee story.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Those aren't pillows. There you go. All right. So does Tom count as full grown? Tom's a big boy, kids. He is. Yeah.
I am, but I'm not grown up yet. When I get grown up, I want to be like Chris Gore.
Tickle me culture doll. Thanks, Jason.
Oh my God.
Good question. Who's going to Vegas? I'm going to Vegas.
Hey, culture. Monkey's got to go.
Oh, Mock. Boo. All right, Mock. Tell everybody where you're going and why.
I can push my stream back.
No. We're gonna wrap in it. We're gonna wrap in 25. So go ahead. Go.
Anyway, guys, Marketing Live is gonna be very special today because
Face reveal?
Sample size. No, it's only a sample size, but this is going to be a sketchbook tour. So I'm going to be going through all my old sketchbooks, old drawings, and such like that. Yeah, it's a lot. And in my closet, there's a lot more. But yeah, that is going to be a sketchbook tour. Look forward to see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know for the more dedicated fan base, this is going to be a real treat. I think for a lot of people who have been following me for a long time, today's stream is going to be a very, very special treat for y'all. And I look forward to seeing y'all there. And it's very special for me to do it. So thank y'all so much as well, Culture. Hopefully I didn't yuck in anybody's yum or anything and being too cynical or anything like that. So, but anyway, I'm going to get going. Love you guys. See y'all in Marketing Live. Hey. Take care.
Catch ya later.
Thanks, Mock. Mock absolutely kills it, folks. Check out his streams. He's got great creators on there, wonderful personalities, and incredible art exhibition, not only of his own, but many other people's. So
I wish he'd draw me like one of his French girls.
Hey, I don't know. I'm not sure I can fill in that booty, but I have good news for everybody. Are you ready?
Booty, rocking everywhere.
Booty. Yeah, gosh, dang. There's a movie reference for you. Speaking of, I volunteer as tribute. Yes, that is a Hunger Games reference, but I wasn't sure what it was in a reference to.
Oh.
So speaking of Hunger Games, man, that's
lunchtime.
lunchtime. I'm starving. I'm not going to eat any of your egg sandwich, though, Tom.
No, I'm never eating that again.
All right. Well, the good news is there are good things out there in the marketplace, and we'll get back to Warner Brothers, I'm sure, in a minute. But I want to cover this because, Top Gun Maverick passes Titanic as the 7th highest release in domestic box office history. That's right. All 156 of you, please hit the like button if you haven't already. And understand that this man did something that we needed done, which is to point out that if you entertain,
why does he look so disappointed in us?
Well, because we were watching a bunch of woke garbage. So, but look, it's very impressive. This film did very well. Domestically, it's 662 million in ticket sales. So it really made Paramount, jump up and down, right? It overtook Titanic as the studio's biggest film. So it is
internationally made almost more money, but basically around the same amount as Thor has altogether. If 690 is the international tally, right? That's in the US, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thor hasn't even broke 700 yet.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
That's kind of embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
Yeah, and this is exactly the point I was leading to, which is Tom Cruise single-handedly destroyed the woke argument because I
think Will Smith and Chris Rock had something to do with that, but you're probably right.
Yeah. But I thought that that's right in there. And Tom Cruise found out he's shorter than Comics Division. Oh man.
Oh. Now that I'm looking at that picture, is that a rug?
I don't think so.
It might be.
Kind of looks like a rug.
He is old. He's older than Culture Casino.
Hey! Anyway, wow, it's impressive for Cruise. We knew what the hell he was doing right up to the delay of its release several times. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. This guy went in on the rampage at Paramount and got them to back down on some financial demands they were trying to place upon him. And he's like, not happening. This is a guy who went in and fought for an extended delay before releasing this film and the next two Mission Impossible films. This guy knows what he's doing, and he is a movie star. But yeah, Tom, you're right. I mean, look at this. This thing is 662 million just domestically. It makes Thor Ragnarok look like a joke. It makes a lot of things look like a joke.
And by the way, last week we did have confirmed what I had said, and that was that Top Gun would be hitting video on demand on August 23rd, kids. So keep that date in mind.
Indeed.
Nice.
So beyond this list of the top 5 domestic releases ever, you have Black Panther at 700 million, Avatar at 760, No Come Home, Spider-Man No Come Home 804, Avengers 853, and The Schwartz Awakens at 936. So it's got a mountain to climb to get there. I don't know if that it will. I know that it'll pick up on the holiday weekend. What do you think, Tom?
I don't know. I think it will end with about 700 million, which is a very excellent spot for a film like this to end. I mean, it's very admirable. Might overtake Black Panther, but yeah, I don't see it doing much more than where it's at least in the box office wise. But on video, this thing's going to clean up. Yeah. And it's going to be much like the original film all over again. Yes, somebody mentioned in the chat. Yes, the original film was the biggest film of 1986. And ironically, it was one of the first, if not the first, there's a little debate about that, live action first run sell-through videotapes of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know this much.
There's some debate on that, but as far as I'm concerned, it was the first time we got a first run film on home video sell-through.
My thoughts on this isn't that. That's not the conclusion I would like you to draw from my statement. The conclusion that I would like you to draw from my statement is that a film needs to be profitable to not be a failure.
I think in comparison to a film like Thor Ragnarok or Love and Thunder, which is a comparable film, right? Budget wise and all this other stuff. For a film like that to do what it basically did, like half of it, basically, in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and again,
where it arguably should have done almost twice what Top Gun did.
I think you should be able. Yeah, I think you should be able to recover your budget. I think you and all of your marketing costs. I think you should be on the hook for that to be considered successful. And again, that's why ESG is complete garbage, because if success to them doesn't mean profitability, which is poor business at best. But I just thought that was a fun story to cover. And for a change, positive news is good. Almost said positive nudes. That would have been unfortunate. Anyway.
Well, positive nudes are good too, depending on where you're getting them.
I won't not well, clearly not from the hub, because Visa and MasterCard just took away the monetization scheme for that place, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, they are not going to process for them anymore. I think MindGeek is going to become no more of an entity in the near future. So there you go. Aren't the marketing costs a guess? Well, to some extent, when we see confirmed marketing budgets and then companion marketing budgets that are actually revealed, because it does happen from time to time, we get exact inklings, and you can just factor in similar campaigns and assess what the marketing campaign of something else found. So it's one of the reasons why I had to adjust recently to what my point of profitability is for most films. You reach point of profitability at roughly 2.8 times the actual production budget. So if you spent $200 million on a film, you need to make 2.8 times that to recover your film production costs, et cetera, et cetera. All the pass through everything, distribution. That's accounting for the fact that rental theater costs have gone up, et cetera, et cetera. In fact, the best financial picture has been revealed by our friend Valiant Renegade in a recent video. If you haven't seen that video, you should, because he talks about things that are absolutely verifiable from the financial end. And quarterly numbers have to be public if you're a public company. So there you are. We got Pinochets. Helicopter tours for $5 says, don't know if true. Cruise is distancing from Scientology. I've now heard this 5 or 6 different times from people. Combined with his coup frant calling out Hollywood while blue collar suffers. Is he making a play? I don't know. Here's the thing. Tom Cruise, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom Cruise could possibly be a studio unto himself.
Probably.
Yeah.
So...
And you might, and there was some debate in the chat already about my video claim. Beverly Hills Cop, I do know went out as sell-through, but I don't know if it came directly as sell-through. That's the only thing I can't verify.
That's a good question.
I think it might have had a short period beforehand, but I'm not 100% sure. That movie got released a lot on home video, though, back in the day. Anyway.
Darius sends some hope of cope for some people with some salt. Thanks for the super sticker, my friend. I appreciate the salt shaker. Yeah, we've got a lot of salt in Hollywood right now, and Wes is throwing it over his shoulder. We got a lot of salt in Hollywood right now, and it's coming from everybody who's reeing over Warner Brothers Discovery. So the catastrophic damage over there was that they quietly removed 6 streaming only films. They are removing a lot of the indoctrination kids material right now, including the Ellen animated show, Little Ellen. They're removing a lot of garbage from Warner Brothers Discovery. Netflix has just done the same thing, only just a few weeks earlier. I think you're going to see a pattern here, and I think the last to change will be Disney. Tom, what do you think?
Either Disney or Amazon, yeah, probably.
Amazon can afford not to change, but there you go.
Well, and I've seen some stuff where they've talked about doubling down on some of this shit when it comes to Amazon. So,
well, 6, it's $2 million away from breaking even. 6.
So they say.
And again, there are some arguments to be made that we aren't making some financial accounting in our numbers for the amount of interest that they have to pay on the money that they hold over these films. We also don't know, and this is another factor that could figure in positively for the studios, whether or not they were able to successfully make claims against their insurance for production delays, et cetera, which we won't know because we didn't get to see the result of a financial suit between Paramount and Chubb, the insurer, for the recent delay of the Mission Impossible film. So there's a lot of numbers that would change some of these things, but you definitely can't account for every dollar spent, and a lot of dollars are washed through Hollywood because the Hollywood accounting system is basically money laundering. So there you go. Anyway.
Yeah. Gosh, you'd think that they would make better. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This has been ground we've tread a million times before, but you'd think they'd make. I mean, it has to be credible to launder money. You have to make things that are. Forget it. Just this. What's been coming out of Hollywood lately? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, in Siege Perilous, to a certain extent, you're right. They are smoke and mirrors, and ad tech costs are going up astronomically in the cost of digital advertisement. You're also reaching fewer people with digital advertisements. YouTube still continues to fight the battle of ad blocking and everything else. You have lots of other stuff going on in the background. So, the real costs, I don't know. I mean, every once in a while they get revealed, and when they do, you just kind of change the numbers around it, because you have to assume similar exposure to various things is going to cost the same amount of money. So there you are.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are on fire. Yeah. So Joker Voice says if you want to find the net new average by AMC report to SAC for movies that get pulled for streaming, domestic 45%, foreign 38%. That's the studio's take. That's approximates. Yeah, those are that. If you wanted to actually put that together that way, sure. So, yeah, and OC Dobbins, who works in the industry, says, yeah, breaking even is not a success. It's not, and that's why, like I said, transparency would be like the way to go. And I think we're going to get that. And I talk about it in a video that I just recorded for this week. So guys, this week's videos, there will be more than normal, and they will be plentiful. They will be full of information. So
nice.
Yeah. Working hard. And this is the other statement. Tina Guzman's right on point. they're oversaturating the streaming market. And some are going to fail. Consumers can't afford to have them all, and that's 100%. You're going to get back to curated content, and it's going to be somebody's going to like Philo or something similar is going to just combine stuff. I think we'll see an aggregator come out of this that'll be successful.
Amazon kind of already is, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, can you already had an aggregator, right? You really did. It was called Netflix. The dumbest move that any of these studios made was investing in this infrastructure because they were trying.
Netflix also was their own worst enemy, right? Yeah. Instead of in putting so much money in their own personal shows and movies, they should have took a bunch of that money and locked down a bunch of this shit for the next 10 years is what they should have done. Right. So that a lot of these studios couldn't have used this stuff on their proprietary services, and that would have kept Netflix into play. Now at this point, exactly what we had predicted was going to happen is probably going to happen. Netflix is going to become, the Cinemax of the fucking streaming service world. Some people have it, some people don't.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I mean, most people don't realize that none of these streaming services are going to hit any of their targets as far as the recovery rate for all the money that they've had to spend.
I think HBO has a chance.
Maybe, but Disney's years away from hitting the thing in.
Well, and HBO's been extremely profitable, but they've also been one of the more expensive ones, right? Like that's the thing.
And and ARPU is going to increase under Zaslav because that's what he did over at Discovery, and they're going to have an ad tier service. So I think you're right, Tom. I think they have the best shot at it. It's expensive. Pass-through costs never go away. You're constantly paying somebody for the redistribution of your digital material.
Well, and I've said you almost have to charge as much as HBO Max was charging because I said you kind of look at it like this. They would release like 1 or 2 major movies a month during the pandemic, every month.
Yeah.
And not everybody goes and buys DVDs, but let's say out of 10 people, 7 of those people normally would buy a DVD once a month, right? They're looking at it as long as they're getting you signed up at $15 a month, no matter what you watch otherwise, is that it's their old material because they don't really have to pay so much to use that. They just have to pay certain royalties and whatnot. When it comes to their new big movies, let's say you watched Wonder Woman 84. Well, whether you liked it or not, doesn't matter. They basically got out of you the same amount they would have got out of you if you went and bought that DVD.
Right, but here's the thing.
But more people were signed up to HBO Max than probably would have went and bought that DVD. Is my point.
That's true.
So they did do very well during that whole kind of
point in time. Sure.
Yeah.
But again, there are a lot of pass-through costs. There's a lot of things to operating one of these systems. You have to maintain server farms. You have to have enough pipe to service your customers, which at times some of these services do not have. It's because they crash. In all of these other things. So. Yeah, people are saying rest in peace, Bernard Cribbins. Thank you for the entertainment. Indeed. And I've seen that a couple of times in the chat, so I do want to acknowledge that. We've been losing people left and right, important people, but it's a real bummer. So isn't a movie either a failure or a success? Sure. Except that, that's fairly simple. If you make $1, $6, I guess you could judge it as success. If you make $1 profit, it was a success, right? But now we have these other pressures financially, macroeconomic environment that makes that dollar less valuable than when you spent it the first time to produce the content. See, there's a lot of things we're not taking into account that I don't want to go over all that stuff in a stream. So, and this is a true statement. Feliato says these streaming services are too high maintenance. They cost a lot of money. Yes. Yeah. And they're too high priced, I think. Tom, how much does it cost for, let's say, Paramount Plus? Because I don't pay for it. How much does that cost?
I think I pay the $10 package, which is the higher tier. Otherwise, I think there's just $6.99 package that you get commercials, and that one still might be HD, but I don't think you get the access to like 4K and all that stuff. But see, I have to use Amazon to get the better version because I use Xbox right now to watch my streaming services, and the Paramount Plus app through there sucks. But I've been hearing people telling me like getting either a Roku or an Apple thing are probably the best bet.
Yeah, my Roku rocks
because they run the best sound and video usually.
Yeah,
So
you get absolutely the best, especially 4K if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, 4K, and a lot of my stuff doesn't run the Dolby Atmos through like it's supposed to either. That's another reason why I got Amazon.
Yeah, they even have optical connections if you have that high end of an audio.
Oh, I go straight through HDMI. But
oh yeah, okay, well yeah, you can.
I got like a 9.2.
Okay, nice.
Atmos system and all that shit. Yeah. Well, I upgraded last year or year before, but yeah.
Well, jealous. Yeah, so as we continue to discuss this,
I worked hard for that bitch. That was that was kind of like what all my work put into Midnight Set saved up kind of thing.
So Paramount Plus costs you $10 a month. You're spending $15 a month on a minimum on HBO Max. Then you're now spending $20.
I was gonna say 15 or 20 on Netflix.
Yeah, another 20 on Netflix. Dude, nobody's going to want to.
I keep forgetting to cancel Peacock.
Yeah, and nobody's going to want to maintain $100 worth of streaming services every month because now you're well over what you were paying between your high speed broadband internet and these streaming services. What you paid for cable or satellite or any of that. It's just ridiculous. And look, this is the thing, right? Tom and everybody else that collects physical media, you're sitting on a library of content. It's more convenient for you to not get up off your couch and hit it on a streaming service. That's true. But
if I lose net for a week, I'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. I mean, I can publish my videos if I have to from my phone, you know, or head over to a relative's house who has internet. That's not going to be the problem, right? And because of the physical media collection I have, I'm not going to care. But some other people are, so we'll have to see. Yeah, right now you have companies buying up movie rights, just like the companies that were buying up music rights. You're having music rights being purchased at an accelerated rate by 3 or 4 entities right now, which will control everything, which is
BMG, Warner.
Yeah. Hey, Universal. Tom, Jason Gray says cancel Peacock.
I know, right? I've been paying them for almost a year for that shit. And I have not watched it since Halloween came out. Keep forgetting to cancel it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we're at a stopping point. I hate to do this to everybody, but we have to stop at a hard 90 today for me. I have
you said hard.
Yeah, I have obviously the Sunday the late night show, the late night culture show that I love doing with random panelists, random thoughts, random everything. It's completely random. It's well after my bedtime, so I usually don't keep my sailor language in check. You usually get to hear me say a few choice words, but let's outro everybody on the way, and we'll start with our friend, the author, and and dad and veteran and other things. It's the Marriage Fears Origin.
Hail everyone! Thank you for coming, having a good time talking about movies and entertainment and all that good stuff. And here, don't forget to buy my book. So
that's right. Buy my book.
Keep on making more and more stuff for you guys. And my author link is in the chat, so look it up, find it where you want it, and yeah, other than that, we're having fun.
Thanks, brother, and keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Speaking of keeping it up, we got Wes from Whatever Cast, who's been rising. He's got a rising channel. It is building. What's going on, my man?
Whatever Cast rising. I just noticed that me and Mirasphere have the same chair, so good taste, my friend. Sweet. Yeah. So yes, I am the host of Whatever Cast, where we talk about current events, pop culture, and whatever the heck I want to. Occasionally you can see me on Patreon writing, scripting out my animated series that we will be making at some point, and some on the panel or even in it. Hint, hint. So Conspiracy Chronicles, working on that. I actually did, and I've been doing some concept art too, which you can find on my Patreon. So hope to see you there. You can find me at youtube.com/whatevercastofficial. Thanks for having me on.
Indeed. Thanks for being here, Wes. And do subscribe to Wes's channels. He is a content creator, and we need more of those. Of course, we also have AFK Bard, who used to create regular content. I'm continuing to, poke AFK to make more content. AFK.
Yeah. I'm making up excuses. Does that count?
Sure.
I'll get something out there eventually. But everybody who is in chat, thanks for stopping by. Definitely make sure you subscribe to everybody, and definitely check out Makani because he's going to be drawing. And yeah, the rest.
There you go. Thanks, AFK. And of course, everybody head over to Makani's stream when we're done here. And check out this guy. He's got 7,000 channels and a new one on the way called Midnight Snacks. It's Tom Connors.
I'm not so sure about that, but hi.
You're not going to do Midnight Snacks?
Well, what am I going to do? Tell people to make tacos and burgers over and over again? I don't know. I'm not sure how to sell that. I'm having a hard enough time figuring out how to keep doing these shorts. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Dude, your shorts are the best shorts I've seen.
Some people hate them.
I'm sorry.
They bring out the worst in some people.
Well, and look, all I have to say, Tom, is keep up the good work on the shorts. I mean, we need more shorts.
So many people triggered.
Would you say they're short-tempered?
Very short-tempered, yes.
Oh my God.
You got some great folks in the chat with channels as well. Hopefully they've been able to get promoted here. I love promoting all of the amazing humans we have in our sphere. But do check out this week's videos. Of course, like I said, there will be many more than normal. So Grant and I are going to be working overtime every day of the week. So you'll be getting more content. And hopefully I see all of you tonight on the Late Night Culture stream. I don't know who's going to be there. I really don't, which is one of the funnest things about it all. And with that being said, be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Whoa, wait.
Sure.
I just saw RIP I did not recognize. Oh, Roger E. Mosley.
No. Oh, wait.
Who's
Wow.
dad?
Roger E. Mosley.
Roger Mosley.
Wait. Oh, I thought it was Walter Mosley.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say at first. I thought, but okay. He's an actor. Oh, he's, let's see here.
Yeah.
He's in Magnum PI.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the helicopter pilot, TC.
Yep.
Oh,
there you go.
man.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Oh, that's too bad.
How old was he?
83.
Yeah, well, you can't really blame that one on the stabby stab either.
Way to end the stream on an up note. Jeez.
Yeah. Congratulations on Downerville, population us. All right, everybody. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And
Watch my shorts.
Next time. Bye.
My shorts will cheer you up. Oh my God, the cock.
Damn it, Beavis.
This show brought to you by Culture Shorts.
Remember Building 7.
Culture Casino Show. Culture Casino Show. Now we're back. You son of a bitch.
I clicked the wrong one.
I'm not singing anymore. Culture ruined it for everybody.
I didn't want Six to get mad at me.
The Culture Sunday Reveal is filmed in front of a live studio, and it's you.
I love these credits.
Well, there's more music now. This is like an extended cut.
The organ's very cool.